Audacity is working really smoothly for me right now, so hopefully that is not a problem.
I've literally never heard you say that before in my life, Blair.
Oh yeah, no, it's because I restarted my computer fairly recently, so it's like, we got this. And I'm like, you better.
That's good.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
It's a sleepy pod.
Very.
Oh,
A snoozy pod.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Does everyone have time.is open?
Yep.
No.
That's why I asked.
Androids, your torque for zero, and tax subject who managed to find some earbuds. Welcome to the Wonder Year. For all your Animorphs rereading and eventual rewatching needs, I'm Sarah.
I'm Blair.
I'm Seda.
Seda, hi.
Hey, hello.
It feels like it's been so fucking long since we last recorded that like I checked my calendar and I was like, okay, we definitely didn't record an episode on time. We definitely didn't do an episode on time last time. But no, we did, because it has been less than 2 weeks. We didn't?
Well, I mean, we recorded it on time, but it didn't go up on time.
Yeah, but it still has been the normal amount of time between recordings.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's been longer. I feel like these past 2 weeks have felt like 500 years.
Yeah, I feel the opposite.
Brent, I was like just ridiculously fucking busy, and then I went to Boston, and then I had to leave Boston early.
Yeah.
Because my mom, I was like, I'm having a good time at Boston. I'm at the FurryCon on Saturday. And my mom texted me, was like, hey, there's a huge fucking windstorm coming into Rochester. You cannot drive home on Sunday or Monday. You should go home tonight. I'm like, shit, I need to go home tonight.
Oh no.
So
the
that was
weather's
fun.
just been horrible. Everywhere.
We have got maybe 6-8 inches of snow today.
Oh, just today?
Just today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty here too.
Yeah, geez. We've had snowstorms intermittent throughout the past couple weeks, which is probably why it's felt so long, because every day seems to be a new car road related disaster for me.
Yeah, you seem to be having a lot of car troubles.
Yeah, well, it's just hard.
I feel like February has been 4 days, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so
both.
paradoxical.
It's really both for me right now, because I feel like it's been I feel like it's been a month since we last recorded, and also I feel like February has been 4 days long.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's still January, but also these 2 specific weeks have been just like 500 years.
My birthday is basically in 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Right?
Happy 2 weeks birthday.
I think that means, we'll have an episode the day before my birthday, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, swag.
Birthday
episode.
podcast.
Dab. I'm 28.
Yeah.
Not for long.
No, opposite.
Oh, so you're not 28 yet.
No.
To be. To be continued.
To be 28.
Oh!
Right.
That delighted me way more than it should have.
To be or not to 8. Thank you.
Picture me with, like, holding up a capital B made out of plasticine and then just, like, unstraightening the 2 lines that make up the one side of the B so that it looks like an 8.
Yeah. It's good. I'm
image
seeing
of you.
it in my mind.
In my mind, like you're trying to present it like it's a snappy thing, but like then you're just kind of struggling there for 5 minutes to stretch the B into the 8 just perfectly.
Yeah.
I think I would do it really quickly. I think it would be really fast. I think it would be efficient. I think I probably wouldn't drop it.
So he was like, actually, fuck you, Sarah.
Honestly, hey, more power to them.
Oh, fine.
Honestly, that was the funny image in my head, but the true image is closer to what Seda said, honestly.
Well, but no, the thing is, today at work, twice in front of a customer, I did just misjudge. I have no spatial awareness whatsoever, and I just hurt myself, and then very quietly went, "Ow, my baby hand."
Ada.
So, and I know at least one of those times somebody heard me. So
Oh my god, I'm so delighted by you.
So what else have y'all been up to in the 2 weeks since we last got together to talk about podcast?
I was gonna record an album and then I didn't.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah. I've just been doing a lot of, like, sleeping or, like, saying that, I shouldn't go back to sleep yet and just laying there. You know,
letting the sleep take you. If you let the sleep take you passively, there's nothing you can do. You're passive in this moment. Like you can't stop it.
I've gotten back into drinking London Fogs, which is exciting.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm familiar with those guys.
Oh, it's like an Earl Grey tea latte.
Ooh.
Oh, yum.
They're good. I'm getting back into soy milk. I feel like I dabbled in all of my other, like, plant-based milks, and now I'm coming on home and realizing that soy is pretty good. So that's sort of literally all I've had going on for the past 30 days.
I should just start buying soy milk, honestly. It just tastes better. It just tastes better than milk.
Yeah, it's just better in all accounts. I drank almost half a carton of almond milk today, so that's where I'm at right now.
Growing strong and healthy.
I am. I had some very spicy food, and I just had to deal with it.
I've got let's see, what else have I have a titty mouse pad now, but it's not actually titties.
Oh, just supporting your wrist?
I would have gotten a titty mouse pad if they had any titty mouse pads with tiger characters on them, but all the titty and ass mouse pads were like canid characters or like simple cat characters and nothing with stripes. But I did manage to find a tiger one, but the wrist support are just the tiger holding up their paws.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It is.
That's something you can like have around people.
Yeah.
I've been trying to make more like band merch recently because I made my first like stickers that I'm really into that are just like a selfie of my crying face that I edited with my band name on it. I feel like I could make titty mouse pads of me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm always pretty tits out on stage, so.
Yeah, it could be
gaygothvibes.online/merch.
Yep.
It's a good
don't
post
go to that.
ironic.
It doesn't. It's not real. But go to gaygothvibes.online and message me your address if you want a sticker. I'll just send it to you. I don't care.
This this titty mouse pad does remind me of a friend of mine, Mike, a couple of years ago bought one of those dick out furry boy mouse pads.
Right.
Where like the wrist things were like the furry's ass cheeks.
Right.
But his mother opened it.
Oh no! Okay,
and
so
that's
what you get. That's what you get.
It is.
You buy something like that, it is what you get.
Do you know those? Do you know that comic strip? Those couple of comic strips that make the rounds every once in a while, where like a little drinking bird drops on the floor and everyone points at it, and then that's the end of the comic.
No.
Yeah.
Blair does. Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, apparently that's what happened with Mike's mother. She just stood there and pointed at that until Mike came in the room.
Well, anyway.
Let's
talk about patricide and fratricide today.
Well, there's one more thing that I just wanted to say that other important update is that I'm going to work as a girl now, which
nice, exciting.
So now I finally, in all instances except legal, I have left my former life in the fucking dust, and it feels great. I'm 24/7, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Transgenderism is lit.
bounce. But speaking of patricide.
Yes, and fratricide, potentially. We read book 31, The Conspiracy, which is a Jake book. And it opens really hard.
Well, hold on.
Really hard.
Two things. One of all, we need to talk about the cover.
Yes, we do.
So, I love this cover.
I think it's one of my favorite bird transformations ever.
Yeah, I just love how Jake looks like a little man, just like kind of just like flinging himself off of a roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd say that like for once the second image is the worst one.
Oh yeah.
With like just sort of the swollen nose where he looks like he's just kind of falling over.
Swollen nose, and also like his facial features are kind of scrunched. That he looks like a person who's about to be racist online.
Yeah, and I would say that, and also the fourth one. There's just something about those weird in-betweens. It's just like a little man until it's a bird.
I really like the third and the fourth one. The third one is my favorite because he's got like a cool coat that also has feathers on it.
Yeah.
And he's like a fun little dude. The fourth one is okay. I feel like the fourth one I'm more likely to see sort of walking around in the world, and I would be less shocked by it.
You think so? I guess if you saw the two,
because he's not trying to wear clothes, so at least I would be like, well, of course.
Well, okay, so one's a Beatrix Potter character, and the other one is like a cryptid.
Yeah.
So what would be more alarming for you?
I mean, I feel like I would be more surprised to see a Beatrix Potter character walking around because that don't real. But
True.
But cryptids might real.
Okay, you know what? That is so legitimate, and you know what? I'm wrong, and you're right.
I can say definitively that Beatrix Potter was not basing some of their work on fact. We have no way to confirm this.
She knows some things we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She is wise.
True.
Also, before we get into how this book starts, did anyone else catch that Jake does not refer in the first chapter, does not say the word animorphs, but does instead say the word animal morphers?
Yeah, that's the first thing I wrote down because it made me lose my mind. I honestly, I don't know how the two of you feel about this book. I feel as though at least one of you really liked it.
I did.
Yeah. I didn't.
You didn't? No?
I didn't like this book. And the major reason is that I thought Jake's characterization was kind of whack.
No, I totally get that.
But I mean, at first for me, that's just funny because Jake comes in all formal. He's like, "My name is Jake, just Jake. My last name does not matter. My friends and I, we are animal morphers." And it's like, what's happening right now?
Yeah, it's a little too intense, I think.
I mean, it's like very funny, but it's like, I love, and I think that I had somehow never consciously thought about that the extrapolated form of animorph would be animal morpher. I knew that it was animal morphing, but I never thought about it as like the verb.
I'm pretty sure that was what Marco originally said. We're animal morphers, animorphs. I'm pretty sure that was I'm pretty sure that is almost verbatim what Marco said when he coined the term.
I'm sure it is, but I've just never thought about it.
It's still so strange to hear, though.
You are extremely correct, and it's been 30 books since that first one. So yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, my next notice is that, it's the Dead Grandpa book. I remember this one, and I did remember this one. This is one of the later books that I remember reading as a child.
Mm-hmm. A lot of death, and I feel like Jake and Rachel have a really big family, because I just feel like there's a lot of death and like injury in their family.
Yeah, between this grandpa and what was it, Sadler?
Yeah,
cousin, yeah.
From the David
yes, that
trilogy.
Was in the David trilogy when Sadler, who did he end up technically dying? I don't remember exactly. Yes, Sadler himself died and he was replaced, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was dark.
Yep.
Yes. Fucking David killed him.
Yes.
And took his place.
Jesus. Yeah. Hey, Animorphs?
Animorphs?
Yeah.
Okay, did either of you know your great-grandparents? That just seems wild to me. Okay.
No, but I have a lot of I have a lot of like second cousins and stuff who do know their great-grandparents.
Right. It's completely unfathomable to me. Like, I mean, my grandparents on my dad's side died 18 years before I was born. So I don't even know when their parents died.
Sure.
It's completely unfathomable to me to like know that many generations of your family. So I thought that was really like, for me, that was just kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandpa G fucking kicks the bucket, and there's Jake says some shit about, oh yeah, Grandpa used to always say I had an old soul, probably because of all of the trauma that I have.
Yeah.
I know, and now that I'm thinking about it, Seda, like I was like reading this first chapter, I'm like, man, this is emotionally intense. But now that you've mentioned it, I'm like, this is emotionally intense in a way that Jake typically isn't, you know? It is so long, it's so like suffering, you know? It's so angsty.
Yeah, you know, I can't even directly pinpoint what exactly it is about Jake that seems so off to me. But I think it's just as the entire thing around, I understand what they were trying to do, which is deconstruct Jake's abilities as a leader, but I think that they chose the wrong flaws to try and tear him apart for, which is that he gets too close to things.
Sure.
Because I don't know if I believe that to be true.
Right. Yeah, if anything, he's too distant from things.
Yeah, because I feel like up until now he's been pretty realistic about, and certainly he can be reckless when it comes to trying to save Tom, for instance, and that totally makes sense. But I just don't, I think that the central like tenet of the book, it's almost like they were writing it seems like it was written for a different character. And then Jake had to do it. I don't know. It's something about it just didn't click for me.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's just like that I was in a, like, maybe it was just how I was reading it or what it was. But
I get it. I feel a little like I generally like what happens in this book. I think it's all very interesting.
Yeah.
No, but I totally get on the whole like weird tone.
Yeah.
Thing.
I said that I like this, and like I hadn't really considered it, and like I still do like this book because it has a lot of good things, but also you're extremely right about that. To me, it is. Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, and I think that the thing is, it's excusable because just like the two of you are saying, a lot of interesting stuff comes from it, and I really like, especially the way that Jake and Marco's friendship is explored.
Oh my god!
And that's all really good. I just wish that for me, it had started on a slightly more solid grounding, like a solid ground to like build that exploration on, because it just didn't quite work for me.
I also did appreciate the continuity from last book of Marco being the A to B ruthless person. I just appreciated that because it's a character trait about him that I really, really like. It's
interesting how that's becoming more like codified. Like I don't know. It totally makes sense to me, but I feel like that's something that we've that's a trait that was assigned to Marco within the past 5 books. And it's not something that I think doesn't make sense. I think it really does. It's just really funny that it keeps coming up now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like it was mentioned. I think it was mentioned for the first time in the last book about his mother, and then now it's like, you know me, Jake, the ruthless thinkerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also some extremely gay moments because Marco brings this up and he says, "I'd like myself. I wish I wasn't like this. I'd like myself more if I was like you."
Yeah.
Which he says to Jake.
Well, it starts off like the moment Marco comes onto the scene, like Jake is just sort of having a sad little walk, trying to decide if he wants to talk to Cassie or Marco. And Marco comes onto the screen and is like, "Yo!" And Jake's like, "Since when do you say yo?" And Marco says, "Well, I was gonna yell, 'Hey, handsome,' but I didn't know if you'd like it."
And I was like, Marco. you dog.
Marco just sees Jake and his first instinct is to call him handsome.
Like normal straight people do.
Yeah.
For some reason, the idea of Marco saying "Hey, handsome" to Jake, like for some reason that just rings like Marco watched a lot of, like if Marco did do that, his follow-up response would be, "I watched a lot of Sex and the City today" or something. I don't know why, but that just like kind of plugged into my head.
Stop! I want him to watch so much Sex in the City.
That would be really good. I just love the idea of Marco like joking, not joking, acting really like coquettish.
Yeah.
Just like, "Oh, hey, handsome." And it's like, what is this? And and it's very much like, I'm joking, unless you're into it.
So Jake's great grandfather dies, and there's a whole debacle about how Tom doesn't want to go because they'll be gone for about 4 days.
Yeah.
And that is longer than a year can survive without being exposed to chondroma rays. So he is pitching a teenage fit about it.
Yeah, it rules.
And which is like so crazy. Like, I can't even imagine what like his dad must think of him. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like a funeral. Like, you suck it up for a funeral.
Yeah,
but
it seems
obviously
like
that's not like the point. Tom,
but it's definitely the sort of thing where he'd like call his wife that night and be like, yeah, no, everything's arranged, we're gonna be coming up like we planned. I don't think Tom is taking this well. Just be like, were they closer than Tom doesn't seem to be handling this. He's really resistant to the trip. And then their mom is like, well, of course, it's hard. He's at an age where it's difficult to confront death. Da, da, da. And meanwhile, you just cut to like Jake and Tom glaring at each other out of the corners of their eyes, thinking about murder.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a whole situation. Jake goes out on a walk to basically clear his head, or like, you know, either talk to Marco or Cassie like we've talked about. And then the conversation basically leads to Marco being like, so you just left like Tom alone with your dad? Like, and he's like, oh, whoops. Yeah. And then they get back to Jake's house and his dad's car is gone. And he's like, well, time to like fully freak out. And
Jake just sort of starts losing it and doesn't stop losing it for the rest of the book.
Literally, yeah. And actually, I really, really like this, like this set of interactions between Jake and Marco, because Marco kind of just takes over in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, call Eric, so he does. So Jake does. And then Eric is basically like, yeah, call your dad. I'll do bloopity bloop stuff. It doesn't matter. Cell phone things.
I loved it because this was the late 90s. It was like, oh, no, wait. My dad always has a cellular phone on him. My dad has a mobile telephone, you guys. Maybe we can do something with that. And now it would be like, they'd like call Eric and he'd be like, yeah, I looked at his face, the data that Facebook has been sending recently. I know exactly what blog he's on.
Yeah. So Jake calls his dad's
they call Eric, and Eric's like, yeah, his latest Instagram post was just on the way to the mall with my favorite oldest son. Hashtag father son love. Hashtag.
Sure. So Jake calls his dad's cell phone and Tom picks up. And he's not supposed to say anything because they're just like trying to locate those chords, you know? And he opens his mouth to say something like instinctively, and Marco literally just pulls the phone out of Jake's hands. And like I said, just completely taking over on the situation. It's like, it's kind of intimate, you know? Like, emotionally.
Totally.
Like, Jake is obviously in a really vulnerable emotional position. And the fact that Marco is just so serious about it is, I think, what makes it so emotionally
this is
intimate.
By far like the fewest jokes we've ever gotten out of Marco throughout a book. Like, he makes like 2 or 3 basically, and not until the tension breaks.
Right.
And I do like it a lot as like an extension of Marco's arc last book, because he's both more sympathetic and less sympathetic to Jake's plight because of what he's gone through recently. Yeah. Which I think is exactly where he should be. Right. Because he's very much like, I understand what you're going through, but also like, you're not the only person going through this, so like suck it up, and like we've got shit to do. You know? Which, yeah.
because I think Marco eventually says something like, I was ready to make the hard decision that I had to make. And Jake's like, I am too. And he's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And it's true, because this whole book is dodging that hard decision that Jake would have to make, which is essentially like, you know, put his brother in harm's way or not, you know? So let's or I guess, no, more properly, it'd be like, do we sacrifice Jake's dad because it's one person, at the risk of, like, blowing all of our covers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's not ready to make that hard decision. And I think it has to do with the fact that, like, Marco's already lost his mom once, you know?
Twice, even.
3 times at this point, really.
Yeah.
But preceding that, you know, it was like, I mean, it's never easy. It's never gonna be easy. But this isn't, like, a new sort of discomfort. It's retread.
Right.
Well, it's a different flavor.
I think it's very similar to some of the stuff we've talked about with Tobias, where, like, he found out that Elfangor is his dad, and sure, that's complex, but, like, it doesn't really change, like, I'm sure that it makes thinking about that night in the construction zone more complicated, but it doesn't really, like, materially affect his life.
Right.
So it's, like, it's very different from him trying to directly relate to somebody who just lost a parent.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of parents in peril.
A lot of parents in peril.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if, so not to spoil, but I'm pretty sure the next Marco book is also another parent in peril book, because
unsurprisingly, it seems like all of his are.
Yeah. There's a moment, I don't have the context written down. I think when Marco and Jake are having this tough conversation about, like, shit they've got to do, Jake thinks that Marco's about to, like, make a joke or even say a plan, and instead Marco just goes, "You're not alone, man."
Yeah, I forget the context of that too, but that really stuck out to me as well.
It was right before they took off to go to where they thought Jake's dad was. Because they morph birds, and Jake is like, "Fucking, I'm faster than you. I'm gonna go. Bye. See you there." And Marco's like, "Jake, wait. You're not alone."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's true. Family.
Yep. So they all fly out to this, like, strip mall area, and they're
Marco
there's
goes
a lot
big gym and just fucks everyone's car.
There's a lot of audacious plans in this book.
Yeah,
they're so good though.
Can I say
two extremely audacious and big gym centric plans?
Mm-hmm. I was so delighted that the way that Rachel gets roped into this is that they do call her for backup, but ultimately she was already at this mall. And that's like such a, I didn't see it coming. Like, I assumed she would have been doing something or other. Like, it totally makes sense, but I thought she'd be, like, flying in all heroic, and then she's like, "No, I'm in a mall. I'm already at the mall that you're at." Like,
Rachel doesn't do too much in this episode, but what she does do is she has my two favorite lines in this book. Mm-hmm. Which is, well, we'll talk about one of them in a couple of minutes when we get to it, but the other one is later on. I don't think I'll remember it, but after they make the plan to kidnap Chapman, they're like, "We told Rachel about it later," and she said, "Cool."
I know, that delighted me. Yeah, basically their plan is to interrupt this meeting where the note that Jake's dad left was like, "Oh, so I have to go explain to the sharing why this funeral is more important than Tom's responsibilities." And then Tom threw that note away, and they're like, "Oh, he's clearly either going to be killed or turned into a controller." And so they're like, "Well, this basically is sort of the core conflict of all of their plans in the book, is that it makes no sense to directly interfere with these things unless we have a personal tie to this man who they're trying to turn into a controller, which would give up our whole shit." Mm-hmm. And then, as discussed, Marco just turns into a gorilla and punches a bunch of cars so that their alarms start going off, and then he leaves. He's like, "Bye."
probably the most fun that Marco has in the book.
Oh my god, right? Like, imagine the stress relief for him. That must feel amazing. Imagine being able to punch or, like, lift and drop Chapman's car after everything that motherfucker has put them through.
Right? Yeah. And so Jake says something like, "Oh my god, you punched my dad's car. He is gonna have a cow." And Marco's like, "Yep, he better."
Yeah.
And he does. I actually was kind of holding my breath during this scene, like watching Jake's dad's, like, every little thing he was saying until he decides to eventually just, like, actually, fuck this, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so he's fine. But, like, any details before that. And, like, so the tension was well crafted, I would say. So, yeah, so he's like, he sees his car beat up, and Tom is like, oh, well, that's no fun. Let's talk about it when we get home. Let's go back to the meeting. He's like, no, if you want to stay, you can stay. I'm going. Bye.
I'm going to go talk to our insurance man.
Yeah,
I love this weird
fucking...
moment where he's like, I'm going to talk to Joe or whatever. And
Joe
Tom's
Johnson.
like, who's Joe? And he's like, he's our insurance man. You should know that, Tom. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know my parents' insurance person.
No. I have no idea.
It's a really funny moment.
I would not begin to, yeah.
But
I don't even know if it's common to have a bespoke person who does insurance for you.
Right?
Maybe,
just,
maybe
like,
in the
the
90s.
agency?
Maybe in the 90s.
I don't know.
But so they like reconvene with the rest of the group, and Tobias is, and this is my favorite moment in the entire fucking book. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the text because I have it. I posted a screen cap on my Twitter. I need to make sure I pull it up verbatim.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah. Before this, there's just one moment before you get to that I thought was
go on.
really interesting, because I definitely know what moment you're talking about.
Yep.
Axe asks why Rachel isn't going to this funeral when she and Jake are family, and she's like, "Oh, we're not really, like, I'm not really related because he's Jake's mom's grandpa, and we're related through our dads or whatever." Fucking.
I think it's the inverse, but yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And Axe just goes, "Oh, is that important?" And it's like, I don't know if it's like something interesting about, like, how Andalites define family, or if it's just him not understanding human culture, or if it's both. And I really like both of those things, because the book moves on immediately. The book has no time to be like, Axe, what?
Yeah. I kind of this book moves very quickly. I kind of wish it lingered.
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah.
But I think that's mostly because I just want to know more about what Andalite family life is like.
Yeah. But so when they're talking the next day, Tobias is like, I don't fucking get it. Why doesn't Tom just say, I'm not going? And everyone looks at him and is like, what the fuck you just say? And Tobias says, I used to do that whenever one of my aunts or uncles wanted me to go somewhere I didn't want to. They never made me go. He was quiet a moment. Then, abashed, he said, oh, duh, they don't care what I did.
It's so sad, but also
It's,
kind of
like,
funny.
It's so sad and funny. And
so
then
accurate.
Rachel gets the other line that I was talking about, where she just says, your relatives are jerks and they didn't fucking deserve you.
I know.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
true.
I love it. Like, it's one of my favorite character traits of, like, a fictional character, when the person gets mad at you on your behalf. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, fuck you, Tobias. Your relatives are bullshit because they didn't treat you well. Go away. And it's like, it's not his fault. He didn't do it.
She just experiences everything with so much intensity.
She does. It's really good. And it's so accurate to the, like, slow realizing more and more how weird and different your childhood was. Just be like, why didn't you just do this? And then you're like, oh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I had a difficult childhood. I understand now. Tobias.
Toby.
And then we get this entire sequence of Jake becoming a roach and nearly being killed by his dad, and then
It's very long.
It's very long, and then he gets into the cuff of his jeans, and he goes to work with him, and he demorphs. This is a lovely scene for a little moment there, where, like, he's listening to his dad be a good doctor and, like, care about people, and is like, man, I don't want my dad to die. Not just because he's my dad, but because he's a good man. That's okay. And then, like, there was, like, this whole thing where, like, a guy was coming up to Jake's dad before and was, like, looking really angry, and everyone's on high alert because who is he? And then the guy appears again at the end of the day, and everyone's like, shit's about to go down. And then it just turns out it's a guy who's, like, mad at Jake's dad for parking in his spot. And it's, like, a major source of tension for a while. And it's, like, I understand that it's supposed to be, like, you can't trust anyone. Anything could be happening at any time. But it's also, it just kind of feels like, well, you could have put an actual threat in here instead. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if what would be more meaningful.
I also felt like it like kind of furthered Jake's whole thing about that stupid thing like expending resources of like time and energy, and like without the offensive without like the Yeerks having to even go on the offensive, like he's just, because he's playing from the defensive, he just gets fucked.
Yeah.
Plus there was some funny toupee humor, which is always a hit.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that did work for me is that there's a moment where they don't know what's happening and Jake basically fails to tell anybody what to do. Yep. And something that would have been deadly if the guy had been a controller happens. Basically, they almost reveal themselves. And because Jake wasn't able to, like, give an order. And that is interesting. It's also, like, I think one of the things I'm interested in from this point forward is a necessary investigation of how completely flawed their leadership, like, they should be able to make their own decisions, you know? Like, you shouldn't have to rely on, like, a captain when you're, like, a guerrilla force, you know? A guerrilla army.
Totally. And yeah, I think at least in this book we see development of that. We see a lot of people making decisions on their own, and a lot of people challenging Jake's authority.
Yeah.
Authority that he, like, at first resisted, you know, and now is kind of completely fallen into. Yeah. Like, he rejected the idea of being the fearless leader.
He referred to himself as the leader at some point in an attempt to, like, make sure that he maintained control of the situation. And in an upcoming scene when he feels like everyone's about to be like, yeah, sorry, Jake, we can't save your dad, he's just like, I am the leader, that's a different thing than Jake from 30 books ago would have said.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit funny to me when sci-fi suddenly just involves, like, a regular gun.
Yeah.
And that is like the Yeerk's plan now is to take Jake's dad out by just doing a drive-by shooting, shooting him on his lawn.
Yeah.
Before this, there's a really funny moment with Tobias I just wanted to talk about, because Jake flies up to him and is like, "Hey, Tobias, how you doing?" And Tobias is like, "I can't fucking fly for shit up here, dude."
Yeah, he's like, "I hate flying here." And Jake's like, of course.
A very Tobias answer.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Tobias is like, oh shit, I see Chapman. And then he's like, oh shit, Chapman has a passenger who has a gun. He just has a gun. Jake, they're gonna shoot your dad.
I feel like it's the realest it gets, because there's something about Dracon beams, which are like pew pew lasers.
Yeah.
Versus like just a gun.
Yeah. Marco also gets fucking shot with a regular ass gun at one point.
Wait. Does he?
Yeah. During when they kidnap Chapman pulls out a fucking pistol and
that's
shoot,
right.
And they've pops him 3 times.
They've been shot in animal form before, though.
Yeah.
But,
which is still like that sci-fi. But this is so.
So the way Jake wards off this drive-by is just by kind of splurting water at the car.
Yeah. Yeah, he hurries his dad back inside and then, like, sprays water on the car.
He's
and
like,
then...
actually, Dad, I want to water the lawn.
And the way they describe it is a little funny because he's like, yeah, I was limping a little from jumping off like a high place and then also kind of out of breath. Yeah. And then just approaching my dad like frantically like, hey, let me water the lawn. Okay, you go outside. Bye. So, I mean, you know, you don't look a gift horse, I guess. Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah. But then they convene and they're like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do? Jake just almost got gunned down on his lawn, and I don't know if either of you noticed this, but something I noticed is that there are at least 6 discrete utterances of the statement that like the Yeerks can put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, I don't know if I picked up on that, but I totally buy it.
So much in this book. I don't like even at one point Tobias just like, well, that was one time it happened, but the Yeerks know how to count, and I'm like, yeah, every time you say that, Tobias, I grow less and less sure that the Yeerks can count.
We literally last book discovered that the Yeerks should have been able to just figure out they were humans this entire time because Visser 1 did it in 30 seconds because of numbers. The Yeerks cannot fucking count. They just can't.
Oh god, Visser 3's a himbo.
And yeah, this is where we get the very powerful moment of Jake being like, I should be in charge. Marco, you were in charge when it was your mom. And Marco's like, well, dude, yeah, but you can't handle it and I can. And I wish I couldn't. I would like myself a lot more if I were like you. But I'm not. So here we are. And it's like, oh, Marco. And they basically decide that it's bad that they've been on the defensive this whole time, and it's what keeps leading to like these impossible moments of tension, and they basically can never be on their toes enough, so they decide to do something big to distract from Jake's dad, which is kidnapping Chapman.
It is like I said, the plans are like
bombastic.
Crazy. Yeah, bombastic is a better word.
Yeah. There's a great moment in
ostentatious.
Here there's a moment in the conversation where Marco's like, hey, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm just looking out for everyone. And he holds out his hand to shake, and Jake just kind of fucking steel gazes him until Marco pulls his hand back.
And it's hard because like I genuinely feel that Marco is being sincere. He's just really worried about
everyone's safety.
Everyone's safety, but Jake.
Yeah.
So
they go to kidnap Chapman, and
it's a whole thing. It's
So Jake goes Rhino, Rachel goes Bear, and Marco goes Big Jim. They an axe morphs into an Uggo.
Oh yeah.
Like
halfway between his main.
He stops morphing halfway, and Jake is just straight up like, yeah, it's like a less attractive version of his regular form.
Yeah.
Which I think he calls strikingly beautiful when he's reflecting upon it.
Honestly, that happens so frequently, I've stopped noticing because they always say it.
Yeah. I always listen. I always keep my eyes open for it because I really like to see it.
And they immediately decide that part of their plan should be just giving Melissa Chapman a bunch more trauma. Because Axe comes up to Chapman's house and is like, hello, Mr. Chapman. I am schoolmate of Melissa Chapman and also friend, and would like to speak to her about a school assignment from the school that we both go to. Thank you. This is normal request. And Chapman's like, okay. And like gets Melissa. And then Marco appears out of the bushes as a gorilla, hog ties her and like tosses her into a bush, and then a bunch of animals just like scream into Chapman's house, where he's got like a mirror that's secretly a motion detector and a statue that's secretly a Dracon beam, and shit just happens, and then they basically end up all getting like shot and a bunch, and then they steal Chapman, and then there's this house for sale next door or across the street, and they put him in there, and they're like, it's the last place anyone would ever look, which is not true. It's the first place anyone would look, surely.
Yeah.
They're children.
But Melissa, like, at the very end of the fight, you can just, like, they can just hear Melissa, like, crying for her parents, like, while she was hogtied because the gag slipped out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But the next chapter, I think, might be one of my favorites.
Sure.
Just because of, well, maybe not this chapter, but like all like the Axe stuff that happens from here to the end.
Yeah.
Is just so, because Axe is the only, obviously Axe is the only true Andalite among them. So he's the one, torturing Chapman, and is later he's hold on, I'm gonna pull up the line for it later, because it's a really good line.
And he's basically just starting to threaten Chapman a lot and playing the role of, like, the very cruel interrogator.
Yeah.
And Jake leaves. Like, he listens in for a while and then leaves because he basically doesn't want to hear what Axe does to, like, get information from him or to scare him. And sucks.
It sucks really bad.
Later Jake and Axe are talking, and Axe is like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and Jake's like, good, and Axe says, no, Prince Jake, nothing about this is good. This is not behavior suitable to a warrior. I will not do this again.
Yeah. He scolds Jake in a way that only Axe could scold Jake.
There's also a very good moment that I like from Axe where Jake apologizes. He's like, it's my fault, Axe, my responsibility. You did what I asked you to, as your prince. This is on me. And Axe says, no, my actions are my actions and are my responsibility.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Yeah. I also I'm noticing Jake leading into the role of Prince more, along with, the leader thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's interesting.
The moment I really like between the two of them there is that Axe, like, softens and he's like, sorry that I got so angry. Or no, not sorry that I got angry. Sorry that I expressed anger. Is what he says. And Jake is like, no, you are entitled to be mad. You should be mad. And also, this is a great, I hate Andalites. Their like, plan is that Chapman will free himself because Axe, like, noticeably walks on broken glass and makes the... This is stupid. Makes the assumption that Chapman will hear the glass and assume that Andalites don't know enough about human culture to know that glass is sharp, so that Chapman can just steal some broken glass and cut himself free. And I was like, I hate Andalites because it's so true. They absolutely would.
I also really appreciate the fact that Axe is extremely mad about the fact that he's going to go down in history now as, like, the Andalite dipshit. Like, in Yerk history, he will be like the Andalite that accidentally let, like, one of the most important POWs get away.
Right.
Yeah. He's a dramatic bitch, though. So
yeah, he is. And Jake's like, I wouldn't have asked you to do it if it wasn't important. I'm sorry, man. And Axe says, important to you or the war effort?
Yeah, which is, the whole crux of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
and at this point, basically, they go up to the great-grandpa's cabin to start getting ready for the wake and the funeral. And there's a whole bunch... I don't know how I feel about a lot of the conversations that Jake and Tom have. Because they are so heavy-handed that it's like... Tom is not good at this, right? Like, Tom's Yerk is not good at this because everything he says has like this really heavy, dramatic double meaning. And it's like, bud, you're supposed to just be a teenager.
Yeah. He's like, some people can't deal with the realities of war.
Yeah. They're like going through the great grandpa stuff. They find a dagger that they're like, oh, grandpa must have taken this off of a Nazi soldier's body. And they find all of these, like, medals for, like, bravery. He has a purple heart, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Like, a whole bunch of that shit. And Tom's just like, war, yes, war is, war. Some people aren't cut out for war. And, like... This
scene is very much one that stuck with me for a long time. Like, I read this book as a very young child, and this scene of them, like, discussing over Grandpa G's war memorabilia is one that stuck with me.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, the way that Jake talks about Tom's reactions, because he's like, Jake says something that's, like, sentimental or whatever, and then he's like, perfectly imitating Tom, the Yerk inside of him rolls his eyes, and I'm like, wow, Tom must be, like, a dickhead. I'm, like, not gonna lie.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom sounds like the shitty older brother that all of my friends had.
Yeah, he really, because, I mean, whenever... Like, literally every time that Jake says that the Yerk is doing a good Tom impression, it's when Tom is being kind of mean to him. Or Or like razzing him at least.
Uh-huh.
It's like, well, okay.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But so Tom is like, I'm taking this knife, and Jake's like, you're not taking that knife, and Tom's like, I'm not taking this knife. But then Jake has a nightmare about being in World War II, and then he wakes up and Tom took the knife. I actually kind of really
love that chapter.
I love the nightmare. The nightmare
it's
was
good.
Really good.
No, it's a good chapter.
Yeah.
I apologize for speeding
It's basically
through it.
like, it's Christmas Eve or whatever.
Yeah,
and
Christmas
et cetera,
Eve, and they're singing Silent Night, and Jake is like his father, or his great-grandfather.
Yeah. And then he gets stabbed by a Yerk and also in the trenches with him or whatever. Something like that. Yeah. But it's good.
When the fuck does Tom ever get any sleep? Because I know that there's like a lot going on in this book, but like every single goddamn time that Jake goes to check on Tom or like walks by where Tom should be sleeping, he's not sleeping. Ever. When the fuck does he sleep? He's still a human body. He still requires sleep.
He's probably not doing... It's probably why he's not doing such a great job.
Yeah.
Because he's really stiffy because he doesn't have enough sleep.
Yeah, and he's also worried about not getting Kendra in a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the visual of this scene where basically Jake wakes up, realizes that Tom isn't there. He looks in this footlocker and realizes the dagger is gone. By the way, the heavy-handedness of Tom stealing a Nazi dagger
yeah,
to kill his dad is like, well, here we are.
Yeah, my notes specifically say that Tom using the Nazi dagger was a little on the nose.
Yeah. And Jake walks out, and I love the visual of Tom has invited his dad out to apologize and have a father-son bonding talk, and they're sitting at the edge of this dock with presumably the moon behind them, probably reflected in the water, and then they go to hug, and Jake sees Tom's shirt right up and sees that he has the dagger with him, and Tom starts to reach toward the dagger. And then shit all goes down. But I just love that one frame.
Yeah, no, it's
It's so good.
You can't see, but I'm doing director hands. Framing a square right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing director hands on my end just to get a visual of what you look like right now. So, okay, I see what you're talking about now.
But I'm just looking into my own closet.
What's going on in there?
Most things are folded, so that's
nice.
Wow, nice. That was true of me.
And then stuff sort of just happens. Jake
this just kind of this kind of resolves in just a cacophony of animals.
Yeah.
Because Jake starts turning into a tiger, and then a whale shows up, and then dolphins show up, and Tom's leg gets broken, and then Jake goes back to a human, and is like, yo, buddy, are you okay? And Tom's like, get the fuck out of here, shrimp. And Jake's like, no, I'm staying here.
Yeah, it turns out that their plan, basically, the other kids ignored Jake not wanting them to be involved, obviously, and showed up at this cabin. And a lot of their plans, I mean, to be fair, this is called out in the end, that a lot of their plans, as is sort of a trend, rely on a lot of assumptions about things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
And in this case, it relies on Tom bringing Jake's dad outside without Jake noticing and all that kind of thing. And basically they break the dock and they separate them, and they break Tom's leg, and then somebody's like, yo, Jake, you're in a tiger morph in the open. Stop doing that. And then I also love the visual after everything calms down and Tom is airlifted out of there. Jake, because he can't do thought speak because he's in his own body, he just walks out of the cabin and just sort of shrugs into the empty air.
Yeah.
Until Tobias is like, oh yeah, yo, we're over here.
It's such a good little moment.
Yeah.
They had spent time, they were just the whole organization of that. But then they also talk about how, we wanted a vacation too. So we hung out in that abandoned, a hunting lodge or something.
Hunting lodge, yeah. And Tobias just ate a bunch of rats.
Yeah. Rachel's like, yeah, Tobias, you had a fucking blast. You had to eat like a pig.
Yeah.
I misread, and when I read that first, I misread it, and I was like, I thought Rachel said, yeah, Tobias, you had a fucking blast. You had to eat a pig. And I'm like,
oh, could you imagine?
It's impressive you can put that away.
I don't think he could.
Oh, God.
So, and then Jake and Marco have, like, a conversation afterwards, which I unfortunately don't remember much of the substance of, but I remember it being really nice.
Yeah.
They kind of, you know, make amends in a sort of way. It's very tender, though. It's extremely tender.
It is, but it's also, like, very because they're talking about how, yeah, this plan totally worked, and then Jake's like, but what were you going to do if something else had happened? Like if Tom had attacked my dad before, or if any of the infinite other things that could have happened instead of this thing happened. And Marco's like, well, and Jake's like, no, never mind. That's okay. Love you, bro. And basically admits that he was too close to it, like to the situation, to understand what was going on, and says that he'll, like, listen to Marco in the future, which is good. And then they have a moment where they're like, remember when we used to talk about whether Spider-Man or Batman could kick each other's ass? And now we're talking about whether it's worth killing your own dad to save the world.
It's fun being an Animorph.
What the fuck?
I think Jake and Marco have such a great relationship. Like,
they do.
It's really fun. Whenever, I mean, obviously they're the best friends, you know, so obviously they're gonna have a lot of chemistry. But it's fun. They have, like, really, because I don't think they're, like, you wouldn't consider that their personalities would be naturally compatible, but they play off one another super well.
Yeah. Oh, there's one more moment where Jake has this really interesting, well, he talks about how the dagger ended up at the bottom of the lake, and he's just gonna let it rot there, basically. And how he took his grandpa's medals, and he sort of meditates on how, like, these medals are honoring him, and how they mean that he did all of these quote-unquote good things, or things that were, like, good for his country or the movement or whatever, and how that's good, but it's still complicated when you're the person who had to, like, do the violent acts that were quote-unquote good. And how he understands why you wouldn't necessarily display your medals, why you would instead, like, hide them away. And then he has a moment where he's like, guess I'll have to get a Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Like, guess I'm one day, like, if we end up saving the world, I'm gonna have to make amends with all of the violent things that I did to save the world. And I think I'm gonna just want to hide them.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I think this book has some really nice prose in it. I think it's really well written. Yeah. It might be a little dubiously out of character, but you know, I feel generally really positive towards what was explored in this book.
Me too.
So.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about it, but
yeah.
No,
I totally
hate it.
No, yeah.
You know?
No, exactly. No, I get you.
Yeah, and I like all of I ultimately like the conclusions that it came to. I just don't think that it necessarily took the ideal path.
Totally. Yeah. Cool. Let's get into some questions.
Yeah. Do we have questions?
We have a question from Heavenly Evan on Twitter. Who says, oh, actually, it's not so much of a question as just a comment.
Yeah, it's more of a statement, but I say read it.
I love this book. I'm impressed how it manages to have an interesting narrative and gives some pretty good reasons why the status quo remains normal by the end. The main conflict is just so cool. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I was like, man, nothing comes of this. But of course, nothing really comes of it. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like one of the recent books that I remember you two both really liking was the one where their whole gambit wound up being for nothing. Like, do you remember the one with, like, the anti-morphing ray or whatever?
I don't remember what the plot was, but I remember that. Yeah, it was nothing. No, it wasn't that. The one where they had the experiment to make everybody into slaves.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what it
that's
was,
right.
That's what it was. I
Yeah.
thought it was. Yeah.
And then they figured out that by the time that they came to interrupt the plan, they'd already discovered that the plan didn't work.
Yeah.
God, that book was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, but I really like how this one just kind of is almost circular in itself, you know? It's circular in a way that explores the certain failings of, you know, fighting a circular battle, you know, stuff.
I think it's interesting because there's no reason for them to not be worried that Tom will just turn his dad into a controller,
Right.
like, at any point. Like, I feel like, if anything, they should be really worried about it now, because now Tom has had the realization that, like, oh man, playing the role of a human teenager who's still under his parents' roofs might have some difficulties for me, so I should just turn my whole family into controllers.
How stressful. Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Obviously I can't imagine, but you know, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how everything else, all of the seeds that this book planted develops in the future.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Ooh. We've got 20 books to go, folks.
That's crazy.
Wild.
We have about a year's worth of this podcast
Damn.
left. Well, we have a little bit more than 20 books, because there is at least one more Megamorphs, and I'm pretty sure there's another we have to read Visser, the Visser 3 book.
Oh. Exciting.
I don't know when that one. I don't know when that one quite folds in chronologically.
Yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Cool. Thank you everyone for listening. We will catch you again next week with the next book in the series. But until then, you can find the show. You can contact the show at The Wonder Yerks on Twitter, and you can support the show patreon.com/fearbaiting. Would you like to read off our $5 a month patrons?
Oh, I should pull that up. Also, I just wanted to say that Fear Baiting will be if you're listening to this and you're like, where the fuck is Fear Baiting? It's coming back. I'm going to take another weekend off because I'm worth it. But the weekend after that is when I have my first guest scheduled, and I've got us booked out pretty much every week from then on. So, yeah. Fear Baiting not dead, just taking a nap. But while I was looking that up, thank you very much to Michael Kaiser, Paul Moran, Kit Spindler, Paul Bechtel, Ducky Aisha, and Allison. We love you all so much.
If you want to find me on the internet, you can do so at BlairKitch on Twitter or blairkitch.tumblr.com.
If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at Sunhatzhenya there, SUNHATZHENYA. There's also me on snouts.online, the Mastodon thing. And also, check out Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, the Leftism podcast that I do.
Hell yeah.
It's a good one, if you ask me.
You can find me on Twitter at nudity with an EA instead of a Y, or you can check out my other podcast where I make little songs to solve little problems at Musical Mole on Twitter, or look at all of my other music at gaygothvibes.online.
Yeah. So we will catch you again in 2 weeks, but until then, I have been Blair.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Seda.
And remember, keep your hand
on the Escafil device.
Nice.
Bye.
On the Escafil device.